Hey everybody, it's Kenny Kayer again with a another 80s slasher review. Um, Sweet 16 from 1983, um, directed by Jim Sotos. Now, before we start, if you like my video, please like it. If you subscribe, it's free, no worries. Um, it gets a 5.1 on IMDb, but it gets a 4.5 from me, and I'll explain why later. The movie has a few recognizable names like Bo Hopkins. He's the chief, Sheriff Dan Burke. His son um, didn't know him. He's plays Hank Burke in the movie, but his daughter Marcy Burke is actually Dana Kimmel, and Dana Kimmel is the final girl from Friday the 13th Part 3. Now this is from '83, so final Friday the 13th Part 3 was from '83 or '84, right? I think it's from '83. So she's playing his daughter here, and then that yeah, it's weird. And in that movie, she's already kind of an adult. And Bob Hopkins is known for his role of his George Lucas movie before George Lucas did the Star Wars movies, American Graffiti with Richard Dreyfuss. And it's so that Richard Dreyfuss got the part as Hooper in Jaws. He said, "Why don't you take Ricky Dreyfuss?" He said. You also have Patrick McNay as Professor John Morgan. Um, he's also in The Howling. And then you have Don Shanks as Jason Longshadow. He's the Native American. Professor Morgan hired for an excavation, and he's also Michael Myers in the infamous Halloween 5. And here he's Jason. Because this is before, yeah, it's before Halloween 5. Halloween 5, I think it's from 1985 or 86 or something, I'm not sure. Or 89, I'm not sure. Don't want to know. Now Morgan has a wife called Joni Morgan and a daughter, Melissa Morgan. Now everything is kind of surrounded around his daughter Melissa. His daughter Melissa and this excavation. Now this excavation, there is this. They found this dagger, right? This mint condition dagger, Indian dagger. Now it is said that there are 5 daggers in total from each leader of a tribe, a tribe leader warrior, and and this guy Professor John Morgan wants them all 5. He already had found like 3 or 4. I think he already found all 5 of them, but he still wants to excavate more because who knows what he's gonna find there. But then at some point they go missing, and immediately he says, "Yeah, it's that long shadow guy that I hired to do." And first of all, you know, push in the brakes a little bit, you piece of shit, because he's a Native American, and all that shit that's buried there is from the Native Americans. Shouldn't, I mean, he was always escorting this old man called Greyfeather, and shouldn't these relics go to the I mean, I'm guessing Long Shadow and Greyfeather were descendants of one of these tribes, shouldn't they go to the oldest of one of these tribes? Or is it free for all? I mean, right? I don't know. But he's, so, you know, he eventually goes to jail, but he's, nobody wants him there. Nobody wants Indians there, and it's Indian country, and you know you have these two pricks, but of course, you know, Don Shanks, you know, he's a kind of a muscular dude. He also does his own stunts, I believe, and he takes his Indian, has those Bowie knives, you know, and he says, the other one takes a glass, you know, breaks the glass, and the other one takes his knife and says, come on. So he's a pretty tough guy, Jason Longshadow. But then Greyfeather says they're not worth it. Come on, we're gone. And he listens immediately to this guy, so he has an influence. So I think he's a sort of a tribe leader. But at some point they do something fucked up. Now, why do I say Melissa Morgan is also the center of this story? Because she's 15 and she's almost 16, so she's gonna hold her sweet-16 party, and she's constantly begging for attention, wanting to fuck everybody, and it's weird. It's weird. It's really, really weird. Yeah. There's there are multiple killers in this movie, and like Greyfeather, for example, he gets hung, but he doesn't commit suicide. So it's supposed to be that it looks like suicide, right? And then these one of these two flirtatious boys gets cut up like a T-bone steak. And then at the end, those two, because at the end, those two assholes that wanted to fight Longshadow wanted to go at them and wanted to fight them, but the other guy was like, okay, calm down. But there was another guy, there were two, the other guy behind him smashed a bottle on his head, and they were kicking him until he was unconscious. And then at some point they wanted to keep kicking him until he was dead. They wanted to kill him, so fucked up, right? But then Melissa sees this, and they go to Melissa. Then they want to rape her, but the smaller guy who broke the bottle on, she knocks her unconscious, and the bigger guy wanted her to be conscious so she can feel it. So pretty sadistic asshole. And at some point she escapes, but then they get murdered and slashed to bits, and probably one of them dicks are probably in their mouths, put in their fucking mouths, like so there are multiple killers. I'm not gonna spoil who the killers are, but the reason why I'm giving it 4.5 is because it's not a real horror movie. Okay, you've got counting, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you got 4 kills, and I think, and the most gory one is the guy who knocked um, Don Shanks out with the bottle. His face is completely cut open, and I think he had a dick in his mouth. Uh, but that's it. And the movie, it goes on a slow pace. It's tedious and boring, and it goes on, and it gets slow. You've got the beginning where immediately this young fellow who is flirting and want to have sex with Melissa, but she says, "Fuck you, you piece of shit. I don't want to. I'm out of here." Boom, she goes, and then he gets killed because he doesn't have any gas anymore. So he has to go in the fucking it's in the fucking middle of nowhere in a desert area somewhere in Texas. So he has to find a gas station or walk home. Who knows how many miles, right? And then he gets killed. So you think, it's gonna be Melissa. Maybe, maybe. But then Melissa was running away from the from the two rapists, and it's the ending has a little twist ending at the end. It's like, yeah, I got the beginning, you got the end. The beginning is okay, things get it starts right away, we get a kill, and then it takes all the way to the end. You get gray feathers killed, but it's he's hung, and it looks like suicide, but it isn't. You get the implication of this professor that he owns those knives. He doesn't own shit. The Native Americans own that, and they have to give permission to give them to that asshole. I'm guessing they gave it to permission, because otherwise, I don't think you can just, as an archaeologist, can go on one of these grounds, start, raking up some things that are maybe like Indian jewels with very expensive stones in them. I mean, no fucking way. I don't think you can just do that. And then at the end, it's a sweetSixteen party. It's a nice sweetSixteen party. People get fucked up. People get almost killed. People get almost raped. She almost gets raped, and people get killed. So yeah, I found, the acting isn't bad. It's not the acting. It's just boring. There's not a lot of progress. It's boring. And then Dana Kimmel, Marcy, she's acting like she's she's doing more in investigating. She's obsessed with, like, if you had CSI back then on the television, she would re-see those things every damn day. She's obsessed. She is more. What's your motive? Where were you? She's constantly doing the investigation. She does more investigating than her fucking dad, the sheriff. I mean, Jesus. And I kid you not. I mean, she's doing more investigating, and it becomes kind of irritating, because she's not the fucking sheriff. She's a sheriff's daughter. She has to go to school, blend in with her friends. Don't investigate fucking murders. So yeah, it's just, you know. And it's also clearly Don Shanks isn't hired to talk. He can't act. He's like, yeah, you want to fight? Come on. Yeah, he doesn't show any kind of emotions. He doesn't. No, 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 no. Actually, he would have been perfect for the role of Michael Myers, because Michael Myers is also emotionless. So here you go. But uh, just the movie was just that movie was something else. But this here, you got bad actors, but you got like the the professor, John Morgan. Patrick McNee is good, Bo Hopkins is great. Dana Kimmel, like I said, she frustrated. She got annoying at some point with her investigation. It was too much, too much. Don Shanks didn't have any emotions. He was just, huh, yeah, and yeah, and the movie's not a horror movie. That's something that I hate. That they say it's a slasher movie, but it's because somebody gets killed with a knife. It's automatically a slasher movie. No, it's a fucking thriller. This is obviously a thriller. Not they actually said on IMDb serial killer slash slasher horror slash drama slash horror slash thriller. Oh my god. And this movie isn't a horror movie. This movie isn't a slasher movie. This movie is just a thriller. It's a thriller. A serial killer thriller, maybe. Even not that. It's not even that because, like I said, you had multiple killers. So, that being said, I give it a 4.5. If you're a really devout slasher movie fan, it's said to be a slasher movie. So officially, if you go to the slasher rankings, this movie is in there. That's true. Give it a watch, give it a try. If you like Bo Hopkins, and then Dana Kimmel from Friday the 13th, if she doesn't annoy you. um, the one that gets raped by Jason, by the way. um, give it a watch. That being said, see you next time and have a nice day.